like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Yeah! Throw your hands in the air right now, man. Feel it right here. Scott Storch. Yeah, Khaled, I see you. Showbiz, born law. Yeah. Yeah.
So fucked up that I understand why people have to try to be like, but no, he is an asshole, or he did slap somebody up, or blah blah blah. Because to face the truth of this is ugly. It's scary. It's hurtful. It like hurt my soul. It really did.
Integrity is everything.
I wanted to see what bitch why you mad said.
Let me see. She's up there.
What up? Thankful 13 years DMV here, and I never. Oh wait, hold on, I can't see. And I never seen the monster in cheap like I seen in my ex.
Oh, did see that.
Right. And what would you do if it was somebody in your family? Because one of us could be next. And that's my point. When you talk about endangered and held against your will, it's not somebody that calls an Uber, then goes back into that same house to say goodbye. That's not endangered. I'll tell you what is, though. Because I had a mom that actually grew up in a country where she was captured and held against her will and raped. That's real. That's not some groupie looking for clout that you can see online. And that's what I mean. This is not some.
I ain't even finna hold y'all, but shoot, I know your type. I see what you're doing. But to be honest with you, you don't need to try to downplay another woman's experience just because you're trying to be with their ex. You sitting up here whole life like dismissing Velvet's experience and Janae's experience online with Iyah, who has had her own abusive experiences with Nature Boy. Girl, just play your position. He'll accept you. Just lose a couple more pounds and get on the basic diet.
That you can see online. And that's what I mean. This is not something to fuck with. You don't get to go around throwing these words out like they're buzzwords when real fucking victims have dealt with this. Hey, Nature Boy, whatever. But if you've ever truly been a victim, and if you have any eyes, ears, and common sense to look online, you know this is fucked up. And if you don't, you're retarded, is my logic. That's all. I still love you, but I can't reason with that kind of mentality. That's why this is so deep. Like, that's why it's so fucked up. Like, that's why it's not something to play with. And that's why it's crazy that so many people are cool with it.
Bitch,
Like,
why you mad? In fact, she did it because she wanted the #1 spot.
man, and the one true. Actually, I'll let the woman that let's have
That
a
was
key
mad.
eyewitness. Her name is Iyah. Seriously, like literally standing on her own, speaking the truth, can tell you firsthand. But yes, it's obvious. Like you can look at it. Doesn't matter what headlines, how you try to clip it, how much you hate Nature Boy. If you are for anybody who has truly experienced this, you should either support the truth or just be quiet because you are disrespectful as fuck. Truly.
Yep, I see the comments. I'm like, yeah, this y'all. The thing is with me is that people actually know what the truth is, right? But it's a tricky thing when it comes to the judicial system and how they played everything. So it's just really, really, really crazy.
It's crazy because it's so obvious. Like it was during a time in my life where I literally had so much time, and I'm like a detective. People literally call me a detective. I go so deep into things I'm interested in because I have to understand it fully. I can't just have one side of the story. I want the truth. I don't want
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
story. I want the truth. I don't want what sounds or feels good. I don't care what I
That's
want
what
the
I want
truth.
too. I just want the absolute, like I'm talking about the absolute, not her truth, not his truth, because there's three sides to truth. There's his truth, her truth, and then there's the truth. I want to hear the truth. That's what I want. And I affirm that it's going to happen because a lot of people this stuff does happen to every single day. It is happening to, especially if they want to just get you out of the way because of what you teach. And everybody, since I've been back live, everybody's been telling me, I really resonate with the message that he spoke and that he teaches. And everybody's like, they see what has happened. And I'm like, yeah, it's just happening all over. And it's really a shame that people just allow it to happen
Mhm.
without even like it really just doesn't matter who you like or who you don't like, but what is the truth?
Exactly. And I want to read all of your comments, everyone. I do. Because it's like, that's not a questionable thing. This is, I'm not speaking from, well, she said this, she said, I can literally pull up recordings and let the people speak for themselves right now. Can you, anyone who is coming to any type of conclusion? Because if you do any due diligence, then you.
This shoe girl definitely doesn't know what she's talking about, and she's definitely done absolutely positively no research. I bet you she's only watched all the Nature Boys videos, y'all, because she couldn't have seen the 45 plus minute interrogation that Nature Boy did with the detectives of the Special Victims Unit in DeKalb County, in which he says that Janae said no. That video is located here on my channel, guys. You could definitely check it out.
Conclusion. Because if you do any due diligence, then you know the truth. If not, then you should research more, or look at why do you hate somebody so much that you would blindly believe somebody else who you can look online and see repetitive behavior that shows inconsistency, self-proclaimed liar, hoe and clout chaser. Her words, not mine. So,
And
your
like to
validity
see
is not strong here. Go ahead, Aya.
yeah,
Sorry.
I just like to see the different perspectives or different stances that people are holding in the room, because it's just interesting. A lot of people, they're going based off of what, like a few months of like his whole journey.
Mhm. Oh, and they're going solely off of sins because that's how we're taught to judge. One, we're taught to judge, and then we're taught to only look at the bad in somebody because we're perfect, right? Yeah. That's not reality. That's not any type of fair balance. And so many people who are conscious and God fearing care nothing about the truth, which I think is very important to God. Very. I think
Yeah,
it's better
somebody
than
said
what looks good.
it's called being held accountable for your actions. And I understand that everybody does have to be held accountable for their actions. We're not saying that they shouldn't be held accountable for their actions, but let it be the right actions that they're being held accountable for. Everybody knows in their right mind, right here, right now, that what the sentence that he was given was obviously not right. Nobody gets that. Nobody gets that, especially when you have he and especially knowing his background, that he hasn't even been in trouble like that with the law. Like he's had no felonies. He should have been able to get a first time pass, things like that. Like if there's a whole bunch of things that should have been done that wasn't done. Investigations
Yes.
what done
Selfie.
properly.
Thank you, Selfie.
So
Thank you.
that's it.
Selfie. That's what I consider accountability. Selfie. They were grown. Stop acting like these are little kids, not making decisions. Also, who knows what any of their houses look like? You don't, because they're coming to him. Stop. Like, stop with there are basic level. You're a grown ass person making grown ass decisions with grown ass accountability on both sides. And there will be, of course. Like, that's how the universe works. God is always watching. Keep watching. I'm sure if there is a God that is just and true, it ain't gonna end like this. It's not.
Y'all, where did this girl's shoe come from? Where did they find her at? I mean, I realize that she is one of their financial supporters. You know, you can look at her and look at her background and tell she might have a couple of coins. But like, who sent her? Who sent her? Can y'all send her back?
It ain't gonna end like this. It's not. I hate to tell you. The truth will come out. Accountability goes both ways. You are not a child because you're a woman that is acting out of your emotions and triggered. You're not a victim either. Accountability. Yeah. So it's fun to talk about it though, because it's crazy. I haven't been on social media for years, and wow, has social media turned into like it's like a fake troll opinion based.
Hold up, pause. She just said that she hasn't been on social media for years. However, she knows that Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Chief, life in prison, plus 10 years without the possibility of parole is innocent, but she hasn't been on social media for years. Shoot, please take several seats.
It's like a fake troll opinion based world.
No, it's like super toxic. Like if you're not like, say for instance, if I turn on my live, if I'm not talking shit about somebody, then people start to get antsy and they be like, okay, well, I'm leaving because it's boring. Like people are nowadays thriving off of drama and low vibes. Like if I start cursing out everybody and having fights and arguments in here, then of course my numbers are, gonna go all the way up because they want to hear the tea and the juice, all that kind of stuff. And, you
Yes.
know,
I think that says a lot about
energy
where
is
we
real
are.
low in these apps. Like, it really is.
Yeah. No, it's really mind blowing to me because I haven't no, I didn't see your comment. I haven't I've been far removed from this, and I'm very careful with who I allow in my circle, especially in this like age of life, like 30s plus. So like, I'm very still in the whoa. So you don't know that person, but and you're taking the opinion of that person that you also don't know, and then you're making up your mind about that person.
Nobody knows the truth. They're just going based off of what
Crazy.
they feel is, yeah, like,
But how, yeah, based off how you feel, because there's definitely no logic or reason in that. But that's very interesting for me. I'm very interested in, well, I'm not that interested actually. I don't really want to be in that kind of environment, but I'm just like, whoa, how are you functioning in life? You doing okay?
yeah.
Is that working for you? Because I've like, I've managed a lot of people. I've worked with a lot of people. I've trained a lot of leaders, and that kind of stuff is so unheard of. In that kind of like thinking, to not be balanced, to not look at both sides of anything before you come to any type of conclusion, because you would want that for you as well. To look at if a whole mass of people, which to me, it almost sounds like a tape recorder playing over and over. There's like a wave of this one answer and response that justifies every single injustice in this that everyone says, and then they move to the next thing a couple months later. And then the part that's killing me is this comfort level to be like, rape victim held against my will, when everything is recorded and can be cross-checked, and you can identify and literally fact-based, like, yes, there's a lot of trolls, there's a lot of clickbait, there's a lot of things that aren't favorable, but you can get the truth just clearly off of what's on YouTube. So to not even do your due diligence before you have made up your mind about something so significant, which is the life of a human being. This is like the same. I was watching this podcast where they were talking about, like, we don't give a fuck about Black men. Like, we are in an era of Me Too. Victim is, all you need to do is just give enough motive incentive to an investigator, which you can see this, it's confirmed. You can see this in the detective interviews, but give enough and they will take care of the rest for you. And they were showing like R. Kelly, and how like and this is the thing I found so interesting about R. Kelly, is the 11 hours of his Surviving R. Kelly is a docuseries to highlight victims, right? And it talked about these grown women who made conscious decisions to go to him, either pursuing a singing career or anything. But they were adults. The first 10 minutes of an 11-hour series was dedicated to R. Kelly being raped as a 6-year-old. The real victim. Like, that's how important that little Black boy is. And they were talking about, like, this is Kevin Samuels. Like, he literally brought like the corporate America type of awareness that the conscious community tries to do, and called out Black women. There's a shift in like accountability. That's a real thing. Acting in your emotions and being triggered. Those are real things. If you're not aware of that or pretend like that's okay, this shit happens, and that's a real thing, no matter what anyone says. And they were talking about just like, we literally live in this day and age where it's completely dismissed. Like, what it's like to be a black man. Think about what it was like when Kevin Samuels died suddenly, and most of the women, black women, were celebrating. What are you celebrating? It's not even a potential chance he's gonna get out of prison or something. Like, what are you celebrating right now? Like, where do we have any type of value for human life?
I don't think it's none. I think I
These are our
yeah, I
men,
think
our
I've lost that
boys.
a long time ago because we really don't like value our little black boys, and especially when they turn into. I think I
These are our
yeah, I
men,
think
our
I've lost that
boys.
a long time ago because we really don't like value our little black boys, and
I ain't even finna hold y'all, but I just find it so crazy that Aya, aka Portia Wade, can sit up on Beyonce's internet having a casual conversation about abandoning our little black boys. But Aya, aka Portia Wade, didn't you abandon your son to join Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Chief Life in Prison, plus 10 years without the possibility of parole?
like value our little black boys, and especially when they turn into grown men, then we just really just actually like say what. Yeah, it's a
Oh, they're a monster.
monster. But it's like there's a lot of different things at play in society that is the contributing factor as to why dealing with this for a long time, that the society, no matter if it's the justice system or it's the police department, or if it's just you know you know contributing to the system itself, is that it puts this extra strain on on black men, and no one really cares. Like,
Nobody cares. It's hilarious. I care, actually. Let me just say that. But it's crazy because it's
mostly
like
care about
standing back
gossip
and
and stuff
watching
like
this.
that. But when the deal is done, like when it's done, it's done. Like you can't get a life back. Like when all these people, all celebrity, it's been happening, celebrities that'll happen to them once the life is gone, it's gone. Nipsey Hussle, when he was shot in front of his store, the life was gone. Right now, Chief's his life is like hanging in the hands of the justice, system, but we all
I know she did not just say that his life is hanging in the justice system. It's not hanging. They already made a decision. On March 1st, 2024, all of the jurors came back with a guilty verdict. He was found guilty on all charges. It's not hanging nowhere, honey. It's over. Nature Boy better just be prepared to be the property of the state of Georgia for the rest of his natural life, plus 10 years.
the hands of the justice, system, but we all know that their universal plans are working. But I see how it's all set up to make him a target. And so that's everywhere you go, he's looked at as a target. And that's messed up. That's
If it's very easy to see people who can apply perspective and reasoning with him, because it's so easy. If you look online, it's so easy to immediately, like less than 5 minutes in, demonize and not seek for. And again, it blows my mind though that when did trolls become sinless and like feel like they had the ability to judge, and why are they wasting their time talking about him all the
there
time?
has to
Like,
be something.
it's
It has to
I
be.
don't I'm not from this world, so this is
Yeah,
all
it's
new
like
and exciting.
it's like he's in a he has a certain mindset for a certain time, right? So for example, it's like he's like modern progressionist in like a Victorian society. So of course the society is going to go against what he believes already and then just, crucify him based off of his beliefs. It's happened a lot. Once you start to have beliefs that are differing from what mainstream society believes, then you're a target. And you just could simply just be waking people up because you see, things differently. You see how the system is set up, and you're like, well, why is it like that? You start questioning and you start opening yourself up to sharing that information, and it could be seen as a threat, you know?
Yeah, well, it's not could be. It is, and it you can see it in our time right now. We don't even have to go back in history because this is so blatant right now with Three God, Rashad Jamal, Malachi Z. York, Brother Polite, and then you have the other conscious community type of people who have spoken in that truth, going against the system type of thing, like Yakin, Spiritual Soul. There was somebody else, Young Pharaoh. They're all in hiding because of this
Yeah, I know.
very
Didn't
thing. And
Spiritual
most of
Soul
them
go
are
into
direct
hiding? Spiritual
results
Soul, he
of
was
the one.
beginning to awaken. He said, "I'm getting out of here." You see what they doing to all of the men that are waking up and shedding light? Like, oh hell no! He's like, "I'm getting out of Dodge."
Right. Well, as you should, or you just give like it's whatever is destined. It's already written. But like you either are like, fuck it, I'm going till the death of this, or fuck
Everybody has
no,
their
I'm out of
opinion.
here.
Everybody
Like
has their opinion.
no.
Everybody.
And that's the thing. Operating off of opinion when your life is at stake. Would you want that? No, I want
And
pure
that's true.
evidence and
That's true.
facts only.
Yeah.
That's why I can't really I don't know. I don't really see it as a justice system. I see it as a system for sure.
Definitely.
Um Just it depends who you're talking to. Like I've worked with a group of investors where one of them was being investigated for a criminal activity that he did do. And let me tell you the difference between this is what it showed me, gave me like a insight to. One, he's rich and all his colleagues, friends, whatever are rich too. Okay, so he gets convicted of this crime. His community, knowing he did it and has already been convicted, before the sentencing, they all come together. They write so many letters to the judge of like, nobody's perfect. He's still a good person. I had this one experience with him 20 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Like just picking for anything, because this is what every other community does. They come together and look out for each other. And so instead of him going to prison, he was facing years. He gets to spend his time, which ended up only being a year, in house arrest in his mansion. Like that's how it's done. So the justice system is just for people who know how to use it and for the people who are running it.
I really had to interject at this point. Why is this girl comparing Nature Boy to somebody who owns a mansion? Why? First of all, the fact that nobody came forward to bring support letters or make statements on his behalf should definitely be a red flag to you. That should be a red flag to you. But you missing all the red flags along the way. You ain't gonna see it until Nature Boy feel like sugar honey iced tea on you. Okay? That's when you're going to realize who that man is. But y'all, why is she comparing a rich man to this homosexual? We all know that Elihu Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Chief, life in prison, plus 10 years without the possibility of parole, did not have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Girl, bye. And for those of you who do not know what a hobosexual is, that is a person who is willing to be with anyone for a place to stay. Case in point, Mike Brown. Mike Brown was indeed Nature Boy's boyfriend at one point, and he was definitely funding the cult.
Justice system is just for people who know how to use it and for the people who are running it and in charge of it, which is not us. We're the ones at the bottom. Bottom killing each other and turning on each other. Yeah. But, still, I'm grateful to be able to witness this time in history and see things from an objective truth and reality standpoint. And for anyone that even utters the word God and not be able to understand that that means seeking truth, I'm not even going to give my opinion because it doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. The truth is very clear and easy to see no matter how you feel about somebody. But clearly how you feel about somebody can dictate
the truth
the
is like
truth on
how
the internet.
it's like tailored to how they feel. So if they don't like the person, it doesn't matter what you're saying. If it doesn't align with how they feel, it's not the truth. So it doesn't matter anyways. Like if it doesn't align with what they view, they're like, no, she's lying.
Yeah. Which is crazy to me because I always have this feeling like I could never carry a burden like this,
What's
knowing
crazy
that
to me
someone's
is that
life.
somebody in the comments had said the jury didn't know him. Actually, the jury did know him. And actually, I'm not going to even be on here saying too much, but that juror was even recorded live on a panel saying that she went home and researched him, and that is the reason why everybody.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Like, okay, we all know that if any of the jurors would have come forward and did a live interview on a panel, probably every single content creator that covers Nature Boy would have rebroadcasted that. And that also would be immediate cause for him to get a new trial. So, Iyah, aka Portia Wade, why are you sitting up on Beagle lying? She's straight up lying through her teeth, y'all.
And researched him, and that is the reason why everybody had did the verdict that they did, because they actually did go home and look it up, which what they weren't supposed to do. So I mean, it's like his rights are being violated, but nobody cares, honestly.
Yeah. Also, I care. Also, people fell asleep.
People, jurors actually fell asleep, which was a big, like, no, you have to. Yeah, when you fall asleep, what's up, Tam? When you fall asleep on a jury, like that should have been stopped immediately to like even ask the person, like, are you okay? Are you still listening to the trial? Like, what's going on? Like, wake up, replace that person. Like, I mean, if it was your trial, I feel like you would want a fair trial. And you could say that none of it changes the facts, but the truth is the truth at the end of the day. And Did he
Let's talk about the
deserve to
facts. I'm so
get
glad
a
you
life
said that. I'm
sentence
pulling up the
without the
facts.
possibility of parole plus 10 years? No. No.
Okay. Because I live for some good investigation and truth. All right. Let's talk about the
This is
facts
that.
of this trial. Okay. Um, so first of all, the expert trial witness is a paid employee. He's getting paid 200 an hour for doing research and 100 for travel. Just just keep in mind, this is a job for these people. This is not like, oh, let me be diligent and make sure I value that somebody's life is on the line. No, it's like, how many hours can I get? Okay, I'm gonna get 1,000 for that. Blah blah blah. That's already base level to understand that this is just a job for people. It's not actual lives that they care about or value unless
Could have
it's
got some
somebody close to
too.
them. But it's research.
They said Booker could have got some
Hmm?
experts too.
And the whole, okay, I think I've told you this before, but because I've watched so much, like, and I've had.
Iyah, aka Portia Wade, and Shu. Why are you guys acting like if Booker brought like 20 expert witnesses up there, or if Rick Allen Ross was paid, he's a paid employee, and all this other sugar honey? Why y'all overlooking the fact that Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Chief, life in prison, plus 10 years without the possibility of parole, told on himself? Y'all check out this clip.
No, no, no. But this is what I'm telling you. This part of what you're doing. Because there's going to be haters. And that's because I'm big. There's a lot of love, though.
But don't you think it's kind of contradictory to be teaching love? You're saying you're teaching love and then commanding people to smack each other?
No, because at the end of the day, it gets attention. People are going to look at it because we're smacking each other. It's just how people
Well, is
are.
it not a benefit to smack each other?
No, no, no. Not ever. It's a joke. Like, we're doing it.
They don't see it as a joke.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Their perception of what we're doing is to get us response like we get it. That's the point. So that people start talking about me. So that
wouldn't that give you the reverse of what you're trying to do?
No, because it'll give me press. Like right now, if I leave here and I get bailed out, the press is going to be there, and then I'm going to be able to teach black people, and I'm going to be able to say, listen, what I was doing is this, and this is what I'm doing. That's my art. This is my art. Mm-hmm. And I have critics. I have people that are worried if this is real, if it's not real. That's why I'm like, okay, let the police investigate to see that it's nothing harm going on.
But if we're seeing, based on your videos, a pattern of behavior,
right?
And we have somebody come along that says, you wouldn't let me leave, you told me I was going to stay here, and you're going to have sex with me when I want to.
What?
How do we take that?
Okay, this is how you take it. Watch the video. Just look at it, bro. Just please.
What video?
I have the video on my phone of like 6, 7 videos of the educational video we made. When you see the videos of me and the
We're not talking about the revenge porn. We're talking about the rape. We're talking about when she tried to leave.
No, no, no. What I'm saying to you is, why would I need to rape her if I myself was born? This is my girl. Why would I rape her? And then she left. She left in the middle. She just left. Was born. This is my girl. Why would I rape her? And then she left. She left in the middle. She just left. First of all, she had to.
Did y'all peep that? He was about to say she just left in the middle of the night, but he caught himself.
She left in the middle. She just left. First of all, she had to leave. No, this is what happened. Let me tell you exactly what happened. Okay. When I'm in the room with her, and I'm gonna be all the way real with you. I'm in the room with her. I'm like, this is my girl. She's about to leave because she's bad. She's emotional. She's getting emotional because we're doing what she's supposed to be, getting it together. And she's like, I give up. I don't want to do this no more. And I'm, pouting. So I'm like, hey, chill out. You don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I hugged her. Mm-hmm. And when she's like, no. And I'm like, babe, you know how it is. Like, it wasn't no, stop. No, I would never. It was like, babe.
So you can miss me all the way with that Iyah, aka Portia Wade and Shu. Ain't no amount of specialists or experts that Booker could have brought in there to overcome a complete confession. Guys, if you want to hear the full-length audio of Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Chief, life in prison, plus 10 years without the possibility of parole's interrogation. It is here on my YouTube channel. Y'all should check it out.
But because I've watched so much, like, and I've had my own personal life experiences that have put me in like real life court situations that I thought, because it was all recorded and it was so obvious and bad, that there was no way they would actually like go to this extreme. It was an eye opener of like, whoa, they can do that. Because I'm not looking at the comments, but I'm sure there's one plus, which is already enough and too many, that are justifying it. And it's crazy because I know they didn't watch it to the degree I did. They couldn't talk like this if they knew the truth. They couldn't. They'd be so outraged at this.
And people
But his
saying,
evidence, okay,
okay,
so his
well,
research.
abuse doesn't carry a life sentence without the possibility of parole. You could say what you want to say. That doesn't carry that. That's what they're.
What abuse?
It,
What
e- e-
abuse? Because
even if you say, okay, because of the videos that you couple of videos that you saw, that still does not equate to life plus 10 without the possibility. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. He did. That does not equate to that sentence. It doesn't. It just doesn't. So
also, if you are going.
Y'all remember when I said I was on the fence? This me right here jumping straight on over. Iyah, aka Portia Wade, is playing all up and around and in people's face on Beyonce's internet. She ain't going nowhere. She's still right there with the mother girls.
Also, if you are going to cherry pick video clips where you see that violence, then let's be fair. It's called accountability. How I've seen many videos of Nature Boy talking specifically about his former wife throwing a plate so close to his eye. He has a scar. Literally, he has showed this scar multiple times. Imagine this. Imagine somebody in a jealous rage throws a glass plate at you and it breaks on your face till this day you have a scar. Was there any comments about that? I don't care then. It's one-sided. You're biased. Do not bring something up until you've done your research and you are ready to hold everyone accountable. But back to the facts. Okay. So this is the part that got me. The part that got me is that the expert was considered, and I'm going to use the word expert very lightly here because titles are very important. This is what I do for a career, literally. Recruit people, give them titles, put them in the positions they're qualified for. Expert, that means you have expert level experience. You are seasoned. Their expert for this trial, their highest education was high school. They have no degree in psychology, psychiatry, medicine, sociology, or philosophy, all around the very topics they're discussing as an expert. If that's not enough, because that was already like, what? They've never been certified as a therapist or even a counselor. I can go get certified right now.
She can go get certified right now to do a job that Rick Allen Ross has been doing for the past 40 years. Rick Allen Ross is a world-renowned cult deprogrammer. I'm going to just play a little bit of this audio, and we're going to cross-reference a few of his points.
Under the fair use doctrine of the US copyright statute, it is permissible to use limited portions of a work, including quotes, for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and scholarly reports. There are no legal rules permitting the use of a specific number of words, a certain number of musical notes, or percentage of a work. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
People use the term brainwashing and they really don't understand what that term means. That's a popular culture word that came out of the 50s from a journalist by the name of Hunter. But what it really means is it's a synthesis, if you will, of coercive persuasion and influence techniques that have been crystallized and focused like a laser on people within certain groups to break them down, change them, and then freeze them in a certain mindset. Now, this was first explored by a professor at MIT by the name of Edgar Schein, and he published a book about coercive persuasion in 1961. And Schein said literally there are 3 phases to coercive persuasion. Break them down by whatever means necessary, break them down. And then change them. And then after having changed them, freeze them. So he would call it unfreezing, changing, refreezing. Schein was then followed by Robert J. Lifton, who studied POWs held by the North Koreans during the Korean conflict. And he then wrote the book Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism, which was published in 1961. Lifton was a professor at Harvard Medical School and also the John Jay School of Law. So he basically, in the 22nd chapter of the book, Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism, came up with 8 criteria to determine whether or not a thought reform program is ongoing. And these criteria are basically a snapshot of the engine that drives what we call brainwashing. And it's composed of milieu control, which is control of the environment, everything you see and experience. Then mystical manipulation. Things appear to happen spontaneously, but in fact they are really contrived, scripted, and not spontaneous. Then there is the demand for purity, which is the demand that a person divide their entire life into black and white, the pure and the impure. There are no shades of gray, no middle ground. And then the cult of confession, that is, that there is no area of a person's life that they are entitled to privacy.
Now, I know my historians and some of my newcomers have seen the real ninja moments with carbonation. This, I believe, was definitely a part of Iyah Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Chief, life in prison, plus 10 years without the possibility of parole's tactics.
That the group has the right to demand confession about almost anything, even about things that may not really even be true. There is a kind of element of purging going on, where everything about a person's life is being examined and being confessed to the group. And then Lifton calls another of his criteria the sacred science, which is that what the group teaches is absolute, that it cannot be questioned.
What do Jax, Juju, and the rest of Team Too Much always say about Iyah Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Chief, life in prison, plus 10 years without the possibility of paroles, put your quotas up, guys, teachings? They always claim that his information is irrefutable.
And that anyone who questions it is unholy, unscientific, absolutely wrong. So that this is an absolute belief, that the group's beliefs can never be questioned, can never be critically questioned in any way. Then there is the element of what Lifton calls loaded language, which means thought-terminating cliches that are used to sum things up. in a way that stops critical thinking.
Anybody know some of Carbonation's thought-stopping cliches? One of them is I love myself. The other would be peace reflections. They use quite a bit. Oh, can you hear me? When they always say, am I coming in clear? That's a thought-stopping cliche so that they could fight their logical mind.
For example, in Scientology, people who are not Scientologists are suspected of being suppressive persons or potential trouble sources, which means a person that might be connected to a suppressive person. So there are these cliches, these labels within a particular group that terminate critical thinking.
Babylon family.
Don't have to consider what you have to say because you're a suppressive person, you're an SP, or a PTS, a potential trouble source. And then there is the criteria doctrine over person. And that is basically everything around you must be cataloged according to the group. Your own feelings, your thoughts, your emotions must be cataloged according to the doctrine of the group. Whatever is consistent with the group is valid, whatever is inconsistent is invalid and must be purged. And then finally, the most devastating of Lifton's criteria is the dispensing of existence. And that is literally the right to exist. The person who leaves the group ceases to exist. If they come back, they can exist again. Family and friends that question the group, you can cut them off, dispense with their existence. So you take these 8 criteria, and it doesn't matter what the group says it's doing. If 6 of the 8 are ongoing and evident, it's enough to run a thought reform program. If you will, what Lifton is saying is that each one of these criteria is like a piece in a machine. One relies on the other. The cult of confession enables mystical manipulation, enables the dispensing of existence. The dispensing of existence cuts off an outside frame of reference and reinforces milieu control. So what you can see is how one of these criteria enables and reinforces another. Also important in understanding brainwashing is the role of information and communication. Flo Conway and Jim Siegelman wrote a book called Snapping, which was published in 1978. That book talks about what they call information disease. That is, that if a group can control everything that goes into the mind, everything you see, everything you experience, everything you hear, they can control the mind itself.
Sounds like carbonation to me. If y'all want to hear more from Rick Allen Ross, just Google him. Now let's get back to Shu and Iyah, aka Portia Wade.
I can go get certified right now as a therapist. And I'm just going to add this, but because if you haven't heard or understand the level of when somebody is being looked at as an expert in whatever field they're talking about, and again, your entire life depends on it, they better be one. It better not be this fucking obvious that they're not. When they've never been accredited, they don't even have a crediting agency.
Exactly. Exactly.
I wanted to say I
No,
rest
for
my
real.
case, but yeah, I'm not really a lawyer, and I have 50 million other things I could say. Like literally, the level of truly malicious prosecution is an unjustifiable justice and biased that was so obvious it was at the level of unprofessional. Went crazy to me. Crazy. And I'm sure all of the commenters that are still talking about a one-sided clip that you're just regurgitating the same thing that everyone else is saying, trying to justify it, has not looked at one piece of this trial. Because you would look at this and be like,
If it was
fuck,
me,
if
I
that
would
was you.
really want somebody to like do their diligence. Like, I wouldn't want people falling asleep on the jury. I wouldn't want, one sided. I wouldn't want the, other side to let people testify who really aren't supposed to. That was against, the rules. But, I would just want a fair trial. Like, that's what I would want if it was me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that anybody who is operating under a justice system should expect that, no matter what you think of them. And I think the numbers also, they don't lie. Hold on. Because I don't play with data and statistics, because you can't argue numbers. That's not an opinion thing. So the lead investigator confirms and testifies that she did not look or know that his cell phone had over 13,000 photos and 350 videos. His iPad had 82,459 photos. Yes, I'm being dramatic because what the fuck? Is this not dramatic? And you are making the decision on someone's life based off of 4 images that favor the verdict you're going
They
for.
didn't even look
When
at
on the
the
flip
picture.
side of this, there's over 100,000 images that would have exonerated him that you refuse to even look at. I can't even look at the
No,
comments
it's
because I
really
feel like if
crazy.
I see
It's
a
really
comment
crazy because,
that tries to
yeah,
justify that,
it's
I'm gonna
don't
get
look at it
dumber.
because it's
I
crazy
can't do it.
in
I
the
can't do
comments.
it.
Like,
I'm not.
and
I'm
the
not. I
crazy
don't
thing
even
is
look at
the
that. I
comments
look
are
at the
crazy
facts.
regardless. It's
That's my
like
thing. Like I don't need to.
whatever you're standing for, they're gonna be crazy. So it's
Yeah.
like it
Well,
doesn't
I
even
mean,
matter really. You just state the facts. State the facts, and that
absolutely.
honestly.
Honestly, yes. And that's why I want to say that I do commend you and I respect you, because they would love nothing more than for you to tear him apart. But what you're doing, and the women, his wives that have stayed down with him, amongst all the ridicule, judgment, and hate, instead of celebrating and praising what real women and wives do. I know this is hard to understand, but till death do you part. Okay? Like that literally means through thick and thin, especially something like this when you know it is unjustified. We are the type of people, we go troll the women that are standing by him, and we celebrate and promote the ones that are lying on him. And we all know it. And I've never even talked to somebody on Bigo that with rational and common sense, of course, that would even admit it, because it's all recorded. And most of y'all didn't change your username. So you're using the same usernames that you were when you were telling her she was a hoe and stopped coming to him. So that goes crazy. And I just want to say, like, to anyone who stayed down with him, if you were his wife or his women, you should. Like, you should. Good job. Proud of you, as you should. And I know it's not easy. It can't be, because it damn sure cannot be easy for him. But to see this world where, man, there's just Google Black women, modern day women today. Google anyone, I just do this exercise, please. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and type that in, and it will answer why we hate on the women who are doing what they should be, and celebrate the ones that literally as a community, we have come together and acknowledged, have lied and convicted an innocent man, because we all know he didn't commit this crime. We all know it, including her. That's why she couldn't say it. But that's backwards. So I just want to go on record and say that. There's a couple real humans out here that understand what marriage and love and loyalty and what you should do and what you would want done if the roles were reversed. If that was my husband, I would burn the fucking court down from what I saw. Like, the level of and I don't give a fuck what any of y'all trolls have to say about that. Like, because y'all, anyone who's saying that, you are the modern day programming. You are the system, the very thing that is the result of what's happening. And that's okay. I'm saying that with love because I also have that programming and why I have to speak against it. But hell no. No. When you're married, when it's good, enjoy it and love it. When it's bad, so what? You stay, you enjoy it, find a way to love it, support, like, be there. And for every troll who, and this is the scary part, any troll that is married and has literally said anything besides, good job, ladies, way to stay down, we're keeping you in our prayers, the truth will always be revealed. We don't live in a world of lies, okay? God is real and the truth will always be revealed no matter what it looks like. But just look at your thinking when you celebrate the very thing that is breaking up our families, that makes us the bottom of the barrel, and then you go out of your way to ridicule complete strangers because you don't even know them besides what you've seen on the internet, who are doing their best to do what's right, playing their part. And this is why I can't, unless I'm in the mood, read comments because I don't care. I'm not really concerned with what trolls or delusional people think over the truth. I'm riding with just me and God at this point. But yeah, I rest my case, Your Honor. So, how's everyone doing? What up, Seven Don? Oh, she's frozen. I thought she was in very, like, deep thought about that. I think she's okay. I think she's frozen.
I don't give a fuck about your faults or mishaps. We from the Bronx, New York, things happen. Kids clapping, love to spark the place. Half the cats in the squad got a scar on their face. It's a cold world and this is ice. Half a meal for the charm, brother, this is life. Got the phantom in front of the building, Trinity, yeah. 10 years been legit, they still figure me bad. As a young, was too much to cope with. Why you think the BX nickname it Cook? Should've been called on robbery, extortion, or maybe grand larceny. I did it all, I put the pieces to the puzzle. Just as long, I knew me and my people was gonna bubble. Came out the gate on some flojo. Fat brother with the, they was the logo kid. Said my don't dance, we just pull up our pants and do the rock away. Now lean back, lean back, lean back. Come on, I said my don't dance, we just pull up our pants and do the rock away. Now lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back. Come on.
Hard to the easy, M to the whiz eye. My arms stay breezy, the dawn stay fizz. I got a date at 8, I'm in the 740 fizz and I just bought a bike so I can ride till I die with a matching jacket. About to cop me a mansion. My squad in the club, but you know they not dancing. We gangsta and gangsters don't dance with boogies, so never mind how we got in here with the hoodies. Listen, we don't pay admission and the bouncers don't check us, and we walk around the metal detectors, and it really ain't a need for a VIP section in the middle with a dance floor. Reckless, check it, steady. Like my necklace started relaxing now. That's what the hell I call a chain reaction. See, money ain't a thing. We still the same. Flows just changed. Now we about to change the game.
Said my don't dance, we just pull up our pants and do the rock away. Now lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back. Come on.